The greatest fear out there is the fear of public speaking. But the best way to overcome that fear is by speaking. You have to speak to get over the fear of speaking. There's no amount of planning and strategies and reading books that will help you not feel afraid.
Welcome to the Power Your Voice podcast. I'm Delane Blazek, clinical counselor turned chief commercial officer and coach. This is where entrepreneurial women learn to grow revenue while staying all in on who they are. We're talking about real-world issues and nothing's held back. Welcome back to the Power Your Voice podcast. Today I have a very special friend and guest with me, Dr. Ola Kolawole. Welcome, Dr. Ola.
Thank you, Delane. Thanks for having me today.
My pleasure. So let's take it back to the beginning.
Okay.
You didn't always start out as a mogul in the speaking world. There was something else, right? A pre-career to the career?
Yes. So I'm a family doctor by training, and I've been practicing now for 16 years. And I started Royalty Speaks actually in 2024, not that long ago. And what really led me into starting Royalty Speaks? Well, first of all, always wanted to become a doctor since the age of 6. Yeah. Finally became the doctor. And you will think, you know what, I will just relax and, live the life. But I realized about 10 to 12 years into becoming a physician, I just started having some restlessness. It felt like I needed to do more. And I couldn't really quite grasp where that was coming from because in my mind, I'm thinking, what else do I want? What else is it, that I want to accomplish? But then I started feeling that nudge almost about helping people on a stage. And I didn't quite understand what that all meant. So I put up a vision board and because I like to just put up, vision boards and I had to see it. So I had to see myself on a stage because the whole thought of being on a stage was nerve-wracking because I didn't really want to. I'm more of an introvert, and so just the idea of helping people from a stage didn't quite make too much sense to me. Anyways, I put it up on my vision board, and I put a picture of myself. Believe it or not, I put a picture of myself in front of a massive audience. And I started looking at that picture and I would write, say words of affirmation, words of faith, and say, one day maybe I'll get on a stage and start helping people from a stage. Anyway, fast forward, I started a coaching program. And with that coaching program was a wellness program. This was just before the pandemic. And when I started that coaching program, super excited to start it. I was still working full time as a physician, so I was doing it on the side. And in my mind, I thought, I'm an expert. How hard can it be to start a wellness coaching program? So I thought to myself, in about 6 months or so, we'll be good to go, and maybe I might cut down my hours. Well, 6 months later, it was crickets, and I didn't have any clients, nothing. And I thought to myself, what on earth is the missing link? So I started with my first talk. I actually pitched my business at a pitch competition. And after that pitch competition, it was an aha moment because people started coming to me wanting to learn more about what I did. I even had two people buy my coaching program. And I thought, oh my goodness, that was the missing link. I need to get on more stages. So I started getting on more stages and, the rest is history. Now I had the opportunity to start to help actually other coaches from a studio. So I'll have coaches come from all over the country, come to a studio setting, and I'll promote them from a studio. And then fast forward, I realized, the studio wasn't, the coaches were they were gaining value, but they wanted more. They wanted more of that energy from a live audience. So fast forward, we started Royalty Speaks live stage production, and here we are.
I love that.
Long story, but I love telling stories because I think people connect better with stories.
I totally agree. And I think one of the things that resonated with me most about your story was you were like, I am a family practice doctor,
Mhm.
but somehow I see a stage in my future. That came from, do you feel like it was divine inspiration or what do you think? How did that even pop in your brain?
In all honesty, I truly think it was divine inspiration. because it was just that, that feeling that you almost can't shake. You feel it. It almost seems like it's so real to you, and it was so real to me. And that's why I actually had to put it on paper and actually see it, because it almost seemed insurmountable, almost impossible. I mean, how does an introvert help others on a stage? Oh my God. I was that person that would, rather be backstage helping people out. I
Mhm.
mean, I was comfortable in certain settings. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like amongst my fellow physicians, yes, I would speak, but just to get on a stage in a completely different, I guess, terrain, like
Mhm.
entrepreneurship, getting on stage. I mean, I wasn't trained as an entrepreneur. I was trained as a physician. So the whole world and the speaking, all of that was a little bit much for me.
Mhm.
So, but anyhow, here we are.
That's wonderful. And the other thing that I love that you said was you developed the coaching program and you thought, oh, well, build it and they will come.
Yeah.
I developed a wonderful wellness program. Surely everyone will be knocking my door down. But imagine that did not happen, and
That did
just
not happen.
overcoming those sales obstacles that all entrepreneurs have that
Yeah.
are not always taught
Mhm.
as a physician might be, right? It's not exactly a fundamental that you learn in college or in high school. And the pitch competition, that was really your turning point.
Yeah.
So, what was the mechanism in your brain that grabbed that confidence and said, you know what, I'm going to step up and do this pitch competition and I'm going to be able to convey my message to
Mhm.
this larger audience? Did you
Mhm.
have to do some internal work there?
I did. I had to prepare. And, I was fortunate to have a coach in my home who
Mhm.
happened to be my husband, and he'd done so many pitch competitions. He was an expert at, I mean, he is an expert at pitches. And so I leveraged his expertise, and I was able to just craft my message. I think the pitch competition wasn't more than 3 minutes, but it took a lot of work getting to that point, because there's so much you had to talk about your business, but I was able to convey my message. I was really nervous,
Mhm.
no doubt, really nervous, but I got it out. I did not win, but that wasn't the point, Delane. The point
Mhm.
was for me to just get over that almost hesitation, almost even fear of really wanting to get up there, because again, you have to see it as, your audience may think, well, you're a physician. Why would you be afraid of speaking? Well, here's the thing. I wasn't quite afraid of speaking in and of itself, but it was completely different from what I was used to. It
Mhm.
was out of my comfort zone. As a family doctor, I'm talking to my patients one on one
Mhm.
every day, and I love doing that. But then now getting onto a stage in the entrepreneurial world where no training whatsoever. Even when I went to a business, I did a business course with my husband. I remember I could barely even focus because I was so busy with clinic that I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, so what are we supposed to do now again? And thankfully, I did it with him, so he was just carrying me along because I was so busy with my day job. So it was great doing it, but then what it did was it built that confidence. I wasn't fully at a point where I was like, okay, now I'm gonna start getting on stage after stage, but it helped me feel like, okay, I accomplished this. Let me go on to the next. So the
Mhm.
following year, there was a huge business event, a business leadership conference, and I applied to be one of the speakers in a panel. So I did that. And after that event, and I also had a booth at that event. After that event, I had people come up to me wanting to learn more. People come up to my booth saying, oh, I heard you on stage. Oh, thank you so much. And it felt good to be able to
Mhm.
impact them that way. So the more I got on stages, the more I realized, wow, there's more credibility. People see you as an authority first,
Mhm.
even though, yes, you're an authority in your profession, but when you get on a stage, it's different. If you have person A and person B, same profession, one speaks, the other doesn't. More than likely, people will gravitate to the speaker. Why? Because they see them as more credible. They see that they can trust them. They see them as an authority, and so they automatically gravitate towards them. Their message may not even be as powerful as the other person. So there's tremendous power in being on a stage. You want people to know, like, and trust you, right? And how can they know, like, and trust you if they haven't heard you? Right? If they see you on social, there are so many people posting on social, but the difference is when they hear you, that they're drawn to you. They feel that warmth, they feel that connection, they feel that I don't know, authenticity, I guess, when they hear you.
Yeah, I agree. And like we know, everyone can post anything
Yeah.
on social or in emails, or they could even shout it from the rooftops. But
Right. Yeah.
95% of experts are self proclaimed. And that's what I like to remind everyone is that you can create your own story. You can
Yes.
curate your own script and agenda and make it work for you in a way that showcases your unique identifiers. And that's one of the things I love about the work that you do. So, can you walk us through what it is like to work with you on that full day and that full experience of crafting the signature speech and taking it all the way to the end of production?
Okay, sure, absolutely. So, for those who don't know in your audience, my business is called Royalty Speaks. It's a live stage production where we help you from the very initial stage of crafting your signature talk or your message. And we help you craft it, we help you present it on a live stage, and then we position you for greater opportunities. The whole premise of Royalty Speaks is taking your message, whatever that message is, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're a coach, you're a speaker, you're an author, you're a consultant, whatever your message is, your expertise, we're able to help you build that message. I call it talk crafting sessions, where we're able to help you just fine tune your message so that you're able to deliver it on a live stage to a live audience. And so with us, we go through about four weeks actually of talk crafting sessions, and then after those 4 weeks, you get to speak on a live stage. We just had one of our events a week ago, actually, at the David Rubenstein Forum. And so our speakers got to stand on stage, present a 15-minute talk in front of an audience. And then afterwards, we also give them speaking and visibility assets, such as a speaker reel, a landing page, professional photos, short form reels for social media, etc. Why do we do this? So that after you get off our stage, you're able to get on other stages without having having your full speaker visibility kit in one place. Because oftentimes when event organizers are looking for speakers, they are looking for the most polished speaker. They want to see that speaker in action before they even reach out to you. They're looking for your, for your, any sort of information out there about you on stages. So we do the heavy lifting for you by crafting, but by building your speaker visibility assets for you.
And I love the technique that you deploy. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that, but I found it was really high touch
Mhm.
and very personalized. And that's not something you always get these days in a world of self service and evergreen models. So, could you tell us a little bit more about what someone could really expect, what that day's going to feel like, how
Okay.
they're just going to have to show up and allow the cards to just unveil themselves?
Sure. So the day of the event, I have all my well, the day before the event, actually, I gather all my speakers. We go out to dinner together just to get to meet each other, get comfortable, learn about each other. And then the following day is the production. That's the live stage production. And so you get there really early in the morning. I have a makeup artist there that gets all my speakers ready, both male and female, because there are some males that do want to, feel polished or look polished. So we have a makeup artist, and so after that we go on to the set, and everyone tests their mics, make sure they're comfortable being on the stage, go through their slides, make sure everything aligns, and then after that. By that time, we have the audience. They start coming in, and then each person then gets to go onto the live stage. And so it starts with me introducing each speaker. When I introduce you, you get onto the stage, your music So another beautiful thing that we do, because we really want to make the stage really, really comfortable for our speakers. So we have every speaker pick a pre-selected song of their own choice. And so everyone comes out with their song playing. Your song is playing in the background. You come onto the stage, that you either have a lavalier or you're a handheld mic, and the stage is yours. 15 minutes, you're able to wow the audience. By the time you get on stage, you are feeling so confident because number one, we have gone through that talk crafting session for weeks. You have already given your talk already in front of myself, in front of your fellow speakers. So it's not your first time giving that talk. So by the time you get on stage, you are feeling, you're feeling really confident and really comfortable. And then you just get on stage, and I tell my speakers, make it about serving rather than about being perfect. Because a lot of times what scares people the most is they try to be perfect. But if you get on that stage with a mindset that I want to serve, I want to give value to these people, I want to give them knowledge, educate them, motivate, whatever it is you want to do, focus on that. When your focus is on what you're given, the pressure will be off of you.
Exactly. And then you'll have no option to receive because it's the
Yes.
rebound effect, right?
Right,
What you
exactly.
give out, you'll get back
Yes.
tenfold. And I think
Yes.
that's a beautiful way to articulate that.
Yes.
And then a lot of our listeners are female entrepreneurs and women in business.
Mhm.
So if they're out there thinking, hey, you know what, I don't even know where to get started. I haven't had any visions or any divine inspiration talking to me. What should I do to take that first step? Maybe I just have a small idea.
Okay. So to take the first step, so you're talking about speaking, right?
Yeah, speaking or getting their idea out in the world, what would you recommend for them?
Okay. So whatever that idea is, write it down. Write down the idea first. And and then you want to make sure that you get the help you need in taking that idea to the next level. Oftentimes, I find that a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs build in silos. Try to figure things out when there are people out there that have gone through, what, that area, that field, or that industry. They've made as many mistakes as as anyone should. So I often tell entrepreneurs, align yourself with the right people, with the right coaching program, with the right expert, and that would shorten the time that it takes in getting to where you need to go. And so, for instance, you're a sales coach. I wouldn't try. I mean, I went through a sales coach myself. I wouldn't try to sell without going through a sales coach because I know I'll fall flat on my face. I'll be giving everyone free because I won't know how to, negotiate or how to articulate my program, my coaching or my offer. So I would just say not only write it down, but seek help. Find the right resources. Find the right people that will get you there quicker. There's a study that talks about how 80 to 82% of coaches after the first 2 years, either close up shop or find something else to do. And don't quote me on the exact numbers. I mean, that was something that I read a while back. But the point is, the point is, in any field, whether it's coaches, whether it's authors, speakers, a lot of people start great, but they face obstacles in the way, and because they don't have the right people around them, they consider it failure, and then they don't want to do it again. And what I tell people is, you not taking the step and starting is failure. But actually starting and going through obstacles is a great thing because when you go through those obstacles, it only makes you better. You learn from your experiences. And then you're able to, overcome that obstacle and realize that, you know what, I never want to do that again. And you avoid, what led to the problem in the first place. So don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to take the first step. A lot of times when we're building, we build, it's almost like we're taking a leap of faith because you don't really know what's on the other side. There's certain times that I've said in the past that, okay, my next event is going to be on this day. And I have no clue where the clients are coming from, but I just know that I'm going to have an event. And once I say it out there, I'm going to work at it. I'm,
Mhm.
and it happens. So I just,
Yeah.
so that's just my recommendation.
I
Don't,
think that's great. That's such a great point about taking the next step. I know I've encountered a lot of entrepreneurs and they have these immaculate strategy plans that they've paid thousands of dollars to get the plan, but they've never implemented the action to make the transformation actually happen. Have you noticed that before?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think sometimes it's analysis paralysis. So many times we can align ourselves with who we think, we should on the front end make these immaculate strategies, but then never even take that action. And I find that a lot of it comes down to self accountability. And also, like you said, aligning yourself with others who can help support you. So I was just curious what you thought about accountability groups, how you've been able to self motivate yourself to be a serial entrepreneur.
So, well, first of all, accountability groups are great. Just having that community of like-minded people that you could bounce ideas off of, talk about the wins or the struggles, etc. I think that's great. Personally, I'm self-motivated because, you know, I've had to do so many things in life that with what I'm doing now. I get up and I just keep going. But here's the thing. You have to have almost like a 1 year, 2 year, 5 year plan. You have to have a plan. And at the beginning of every year, I start my year off with a word for my year and a plan for the year.
Mhm.
And so when I have that plan, and it's not a New Year's resolution because we all know that that doesn't work. Like by February 15th, a lot of those resolutions go out the door. But it's just a plan for how my year would work out. And so having that plan in front of me, I'm always asking myself every so often, okay, have I accomplished what it is that I put down? And I keep moving forward regardless of the obstacle.
Mhm.
The two words that I've really held on to this year is being intentional and keep moving forward and keep going forward regardless. There'll always be obstacles. There'll always be barriers, things that would happen, family issues, business, money, whatever, capital. But if you have the mindset that regardless of what the obstacle is, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to
Mhm.
keep building. I'm going to keep, striving for the next level or the next step. Then in your mind, you've made up your mind that nothing can stop you.
Mhm.
Having that unstoppable mentality. I mean, I talked about this at my event about a week ago about how I personally don't do this at home, but me personally, I personally don't believe in a plan B. I always focus on the plan. The plan is the plan. Plan A was what I really wanted, and
Mhm.
that's what I'm going to focus on. And until I get that plan A, I'm not going to stop.
Mhm.
So, so because in my mind, when I have an alternative, then it almost justifies failure. It almost says, well, if it doesn't work out, then I have something else to do. But if I tell myself that it's this way, it's is this plan, and no matter what, we'll have to make it work,
Mhm.
then I go after it. You have to have that bulldog tenacity to go after what you want, really, because life would always things will always happen. But if you have that mindset, I think it really starts with a mindset.
Mhm. I agree. And I always like to look at it as, one person could call it perseverance, another person could call it stubbornness. It's probably a little bit of
It's
both
a little
at the
bit of
end of the
both.
day.
Mhm.
But it's like you said, if you burn the boats and there's no other option but going out, then
Yeah.
that's what you're going to do. You're going to go
Right.
all out, you're going to go all in, and you're going to accomplish that first goal, no matter
Yes.
how
Mhm.
crazy you may have thought it was to begin
To
with.
begin with, yes.
So I think that's excellent. So, what's one piece of advice that you would give to an aspiring speaker who hasn't yet reached out to anyone or can't even contemplate a coach and is almost even afraid to write down their idea? Talking about mindset.
Mhm. So First of all, we talked about not focusing on being perfect. Start where you are. Start messy. For anyone who wants to speak, there are different organizations out there. There's my organization, and I'll talk about Royalty Speaks here. But there are other organizations out there if you're just starting off. You just really want to just get on a stage and just get your message out there. There are organizations like Toastmasters that would really help you feel more confident on a stage. A small stage. They meet, I think, twice or so in a month, and almost every state, every city has a Toastmaster. So, in terms of just practice, I would recommend Toastmasters. The one thing I also want to tell those that really haven't started speaking is this: the greatest fear out there is the fear of public speaking. But the best way to overcome that fear is by speaking. It
Mhm.
almost sounds counterintuitive. You have to speak to get over the fear of speaking.
Mhm.
There's no amount of planning and strategies and reading books that will help you that will help you not feel afraid. What will help you not feel afraid is by getting out there and actually getting on stage and speaking. So I'll start off for an aspiring speaker. You've never been on any stage. Start off at Toastmasters, get feedback, etc. Now, for a stage like mine, uh, those that come on my stage are either speaking already or feel comfortable somewhat
Mhm.
speaking. And so I have different levels. I actually have aspiring speakers, but they're comfortable. I have emerging speakers and I have professional speakers. And these are individuals that really want to they want to get on more stages. They want to build their businesses. They want to attract more clients. They want to, sell more books, etc. So for my stage, if you're already comfortable speaking, then you're welcome because
Mhm.
the next step is to help you really craft your message. Because you could be comfortable speaking, but when your message is all over the place, then that confidence, it diminishes. So we help you craft your message, and then we take you to the next level. My stage is more of a launch pad for
Mhm.
those that really want to get on other stages. They want to start speaking on other stages. They need all the assets that we provide, and that's where we come in.
Yeah, and I think that's really important what you said. They could be a very experienced speaker, but still may be doing a new signature talk.
Yes.
And wouldn't it be nice to have a second pair of eyes on that?
Yeah.
Also, some marketing materials around it so they don't have to do it themselves or find it somewhere else. So I think that's
Yes.
equally as important to say because you can't go around saying the same thing forever and ever. People are going
Right.
to get tired of it,
Tired of
right?
it. Yes,
But
exactly.
but Royalty Speaks is so much more than speaking. It
Yeah.
is a media organization. So can you tell everyone about the other things that you all do?
Sure. So Royalty Speaks is a visibility platform, really, but we use speaking. So speaking is the main well, it's a platform that we use in getting speakers more visible. And so what we do is beyond speaking on the stage, we provide. We have a whole team. So we have videographers, photographers. We're able to provide the speaker reels. We're able to provide a speaker landing page for our speakers. We're able to provide short form reels. We also put you on the cover of Royalty Speaks magazine. And so you get to be on the cover and you also get to write your own article within the magazine. We give you both a physical copy and a digital link to your magazine. So everything we do at Royalty Speaks is very intentional. It's about getting you more visible to your target audience, to your target market. It's all about visibility, getting you out there.
I think that's wonderful. And I remember you saying not too long ago, stop being the best kept secret because no one will ever know what you're trying to share. And we almost owe it to our audiences to share our knowledge base. Otherwise, we're not helping anyone grow. And I think that's just really what it's all about. So,
Yes, yes, so true. When you keep your message to yourself, first of all, you're not helping yourself, and then there's a world out there that needs your message. oftentimes we see it, we think our message is not really valuable, or we think, oh, I do this all the time, so it's no big deal. But it is a big deal. There are some people out there that their lives would be impacted and transformed by your message. And just from hearing you, they're able to, make a shift in their lives. So everyone's message is so powerful and so important. And everyone has a story. Everyone has a story to tell. And so I highly recommend, if you have a message, don't keep it to yourself. Royalty speaks. The word royalty, oftentimes people think of crowns and status, but royalty actually, the name itself actually means, recognizing your value. You want to recognize your value, what you carry inside of you. You want to own your voice, yield into purpose. You want to amplify your visibility, and then you want to, leave a legacy. So, because what good is your message if the generations from now don't have that exposure to your message? So Royalty Speaks is really a platform where we help you from the very beginning to prepare you, present you, and help you position you for greater impact.
I think that's great. And I know you have some upcoming events because you always have upcoming events.
Yes, I
So,
do.
can you tell us about what's going on and what we can look forward to?
Yes, yes. So my next event is at the David Rubenstein Forum. It's going to be on October 24th. And we'll be having speakers. Again, not just speakers, authors, coaches, course consultants come and give their messages, share their messages from our stage. And so, if there's anyone listening to this message, you're a coach, you're an author, you're a speaker, you really want to get your message out there. I invite you to join us. You can, reach me by going to speakwithdrola.com, or you can go to Royalty Speaks website, which is royaltyspeaks.co, and learn more about what I do there. And if you want to schedule an appointment, you can always schedule an appointment to talk to me directly. I'm of the
Mindset.
mindset. uh, I like to interact with people directly. I never have you talk to a salesperson or you talk to a team member. I really want to talk to my speakers and really learn about what it is that the message they're trying to share with the world. I really want that my speakers always feel really comfortable with the stage, because all interactions have always been with me. So if there's anyone out there you really want to, you're not even sure if Royalty Speaks is for you, but you just want to find out more, feel free to schedule a call. You won't get a salesperson, you'll get me, and we can talk about how to help you get your message out there.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. There's one question I always ask as the last question, and that is, since this podcast is named Power Your Voice, what does Power Your Voice truly mean to you as the woman behind the business?
Okay. Power Your Voice means owning your voice and sharing your message with the world. Don't keep it to yourself, because there's a world out there that needs the message you carry. There are lives out there that will be transformed with your message. There are individuals out there that will take their next step because they heard you. And there's no person that's able to share your message better than you. There's no person that's able to communicate your expertise better than you. So own your message, own your voice, and recognize your value, because you carry so much within you.
That's wonderful. Thank you again so much for joining us today. I know our listeners are going to be delighted to connect with you individually because,
Thank you.
you're not a salesperson, but, you really are a salesperson. And I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's
My
been a
pleasure.
pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in to the Power Your Voice podcast. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. You do have what it takes to be a successful woman in business. And if you're ready to step into new levels of success, subscribe, share, and join me next time as we talk about building revenue and the life you actually want. Until then, stay all in and keep powering your voice.